I gave birth to Brooke on February 27th, 2008. Bounce! Bounce, Brooke! There you go! She was always just happy-go-lucky, easygoing. We thought everything was perfect and it was going to be a normal, just regular baby, just like our other two kids. And things changed when she was 5 weeks old. We was always concerned with her eyes. They were always had that yellow tint to them, and her body was a little yellow.
Bile cannot get from the liver where it's produced into the intestinal tract where it belongs, and that backup of bile in the liver damages the liver.
They gave us some paperwork, and everything they kept saying was transplant, transplant, transplant. You want to save your baby's life. You want to do everything you can. So when we found out we couldn't do that, it was heartbreaking. So we were kind of like sitting in the exam room. What are we going to do? You don't know if someone's going to step forward. You don't want to ask anybody to do that. The hardest part was accepting that my child was sick, accepting that she had this disease that there's no cure for, accepting the fact that she was going to have a transplant. So I just prayed every day that God's will would be done. I had a website that I had made for Brooke, www.brookmariewallace.com, for family and friends to keep in touch and know what we were going through.
And on the bottom it just said the requirements for somebody if they wanted to be tested, between 18 and 55, certain weight, blood type. So I texted her that night and told her that I would be willing to get tested.
I know a lot of people would be blaming God. You know, why are you doing this to us? Why are you putting our family through this? But God gives you trials and tribulations to make you a stronger person. Okay, I'm sorry. Look, there's Dr. Hoffman.
Well, I think she's in good shape right now. Her transplant function is very good.
And her coloring looks great.
Yes.
She's nice and pink.
Yep. See, we like Auntie's liver, huh? Quite a bit when you're dealing with 13 different medicines a day, morning and then night and then some during the day. But it's part of our norm now, and we just take it as it comes. At least we have our baby and she's alive.
It's a life or death situation. You give 2 weeks of your life just, and you know, it's not gosh awful, you're just kind of stuck in a bed to give somebody a whole life. I would definitely do it again.
Words could express what we feel towards her, to thank her for what she did. Because I gave her life the first time, but Jessica gave her life the second time.
When was the moment?
When was the moment I knew? When I knew who I was voting for.
Who I was voting for.
Oh my God. We were at work, and I think it was like when he was making a speech and he played Jay-Z, Brush Your Shoulders Off. It was, oh my God, everybody in the office was cracking up and they were laughing. It was like, yeah, he's not fake and he's not scared to show his real side.
During that debate, that last debate, I really clocked it in. McCann came across very well. He did a great job. He talks experience. He's been around in government a long time, 20-something years, and he's a veteran. And that really impressed me, being a veteran, serving our country. It's been very important. I'm also a veteran.
When was the moment?
When was the moment I knew? Was when I saw him in Grand Rapids.
When I read Barack Obama's first book.
Once it was decided that McCain was going to be the Republican candidate.
The moment when I knew who I was voting for was the beginning of the race.
From the beginning, I was going to vote Democrat.
I'd always stuck pretty close to the Republican ticket, but when Sarah Palin came on board, that's when I got excited about voting.
I think Palin, I think she's beautiful. Her alone, I'd vote for him.
McCain's views are pretty moderate, but when he picked Palin, I was like, I'm definitely going to vote for Obama.
When was the moment that I knew who I was voting for? I had been leaning towards Hillary, but when her husband Bill started being so negative and really cast a shadow on the campaign, I realized that I didn't want people like that in the White House.
The man has incredible integrity. If you look at what he went through as a prisoner of war, the steps he took to stay a prisoner of war, I think show the remarkable character of the man.
I just love his personality and how he can really encourage the people to come together and really empower them. And it's just such a powerful message. I feel that a lot of people really relate to, and it's about time to have something like that.
There was something electrifying about him, and it was, I've felt that all through the debates, and I'm really convinced. I'm hoping his face will be on Mount Rushmore someday.
There's no denying that Allie Molchan loves lacrosse.
A lot of people say I'm competitive. They say you're obsessed with lacrosse. I have no problem with it because I know I am, because I love it.
And while she's only 17, Allie already has the battle-scarred knees of a pro athlete.
I actually didn't know what an ACL was at the time.
The anterior cruciate ligament is located in the knee, right behind the kneecap. When torn, the knee can become unstable and damage surrounding cartilage. This in turn can lead to premature arthritis. Dr. Wimi Duogi performs about 100 ACL reconstruction surgeries each year.
People can have significant pain after the surgery, when they kneel, when they squat down, and it can be debilitating.
That pain is something Allie's mom remembers vividly.
First time she ran outside after her first knee, tears were streaming down her face. It wasn't an easy recovery.
So when it came time for Allie's second ACL reconstruction, her parents turned to a new surgical technique.
The all-inside ACL reconstruction is one of the solutions to the problem of pain in the front of the knee.
The biggest difference between the two techniques is the size of the drill hole. In the old technique, it was about this big. Now, it's the size of a pinhole.
It was like night and day. It was so much better. It was so much better.
A smaller drill hole means less damage to the bone and soft tissue. With the new technique, Allie's recovery time was shortened by 6 weeks. Now, she's anxious to get back in the game.
I've had people come up to me and say, "You're going to play again?" Yeah. Like, are you crazy? No, I can do it. I'm not going to stop.
And maybe Allie's knees will catch a break this year. In Washington, Seraphina Lin.